Channel 2.
Good evening. Assurances tonight from the new French ambassador to New Zealand that a terrorist act like the Rainbow Warrior bombing will not happen again. Gabriel de Belsize repeated his government's apologies for the bombing and stressed French hopes for better relations with New Zealand.
Maybe there is something good from it, which is that we have now this fund which has been recommended by the court, and we have agreed to allocate the funds, and we will together try to find intelligent manners to spend the money, and so maybe from the past something good will prevail.
The ambassador says France will continue its nuclear testing program in the Pacific. A late bid by Fletcher Challenge to buy Telecom has brought new controversy to the planned sale. Fletcher's announced an elaborate deal to keep Telecom in New Zealand hands, but at a lower price than overseas buyers are offering. Fletcher's bid has brought accusations of a conflict of interest. Ewart Barnsley reports.
Fletcher's chief executive caught nearly everyone by surprise with a Telecom bid that would shut out a foreign takeover of the government's prized asset. If Telecom is sold to Fletcher's, foreign ownership will be restricted to a minority 49.9%. The controlling 50.1% will be held by a New Zealand company owned by Fletcher's, with New Zealand shareholders as minority partners. Fletcher's bid is not only radical, it's also controversial. Sir Ron Trotter is a staunch believer in selling government assets. He's chairman of Fletcher Challenge. He was also chairman of Telecom until Fletcher showed their hand. The Fletchers say Sir Ron's Telecom job did not help their bid.
Despite recording a $100 million profit today, Air New Zealand says times are tough. The profit is $28 million up on last year, but much of the boost is from asset sales. Air New Zealand says its operating profit has suffered under competition from Ansett. Black activist leader Nelson Mandela has arrived in Paris at the start of a European tour. Dr. Mandela has urged France to maintain sanctions against Pretoria. He says the action must remain in place until there are profound changes in apartheid. The government has announced another part of its employment initiatives. Nearly $4 million is being set aside to create 800 new apprenticeships. The first cricket test between New Zealand and England is underway at Trent Bridge. At last report, the Kiwis were 6 without loss. America's Cup challenger KZ1 was given away today despite multi-million-dollar offers. Owners Michael Fay and David Richwhite say they want to ensure the big boat's place in history. So they've presented it to the Auckland Maritime Museum. KZ1 is currently on display outside the Auckland Harbour Board, where it will stay until the museum's completed next year. The yacht was a radical return to the big America's Cup boats, raced before World War II, but it lost to Dennis Connor's catamaran. Now, finally, for those of you who enjoy a good pig out, here's food for thought. A bloke in Florida was rewarded for 20 years' service to his city council job with a free dinner for 2. So he and his fiancée ordered, wait for it, 33 jumbo shrimp cocktail entrees, 4 dozen steamed oysters, steaks and heaps of other stuff. The bill? Nearly $1,000. The result? Well, apart from indigestion, he was nearly sacked and he's had a huge pay cut, which I guess goes to show there's no such thing as a free lunch or dinner. That's it from Newsbreak. Till tomorrow, good night.
Next on 2, good family news turns sour for JR of Dallas. Then we wrap up the night with more drama at Falcon Crest. Still to come tonight on